This is 97.3 Citi FM.
Mature single.
Very much so.
Okay.
Yes.
Because see, single is single simply means not married.
Because again, in church, singles are young boys and girls.
No,
And
no.
that's
how we
misconception.
see
I know.
That is
That is a
true.
serious misconception.
completely
Really?
different now. Oh,
That's
yes.
right.
You know, the numbers, the statistics are rising. It's up to between 60 to 70% now of the world is single. And that's
60 to 70% of the world
yes,
is single.
that includes singles, widows, divorced. So you know, we have a lot of people who are single again. So the numbers have really gone up, and it is an issue that has to be addressed because if this huge amount of society is disgruntled and unhappy, they will become ineffective and it will affect the world. I think that singles need to know that they affect the world and that we need them to be happy, whole, and excellent so that they contribute what they need to contribute to the world for us to have a good life together here on planet Earth.
I see you more as somebody who's called to singles. It's obvious in the way you relate to them. They love you. You seem to relate to them in a way that
I'm
most
always
people
trying to
can't.
get away from the singles, but God just keeps dragging me back to this.
But you seem to enjoy it because
I
you keep
do, I
accepting
do.
call-ups. Because one of your books, Single, Sassy, and Satisfied.
Yes.
Tell me a bit about why you wrote that book.
Well, that was God's joke. That was me and God's joke.
Okay.
Because I was really a miserable single for a very long time. When I came to the Lord, I just really had trouble adjusting to a whole new lifestyle, and so we really kind of battled it out on this front. And I finally challenged God one day and said, "You know what? I don't want to get married till you can prove to me that I can be happy with just you, because my salvation depends on this." And he said, "Okay." And we were off and running. And so at what point he said, if you could give me a year of your life without worrying about if you're going to get married or who you're going to meet, if you could just focus on me and give me 1 year of your life, I will show you things that you've never seen before. I said, okay.
Wow.
So after the year was over, I said, Lord, I think I need another year, you know?
Oh, wow.
So around that time was when I wrote Sassy, Single, and Satisfied. And when we did the title, I just cracked up because there was a place I never thought I would get to. Could single and happy, those two words go together? I didn't think so. But they really can. And it's important that they do, because if you're not a happy single, you will not be a happy married.
Let's interrogate that a bit with you and the others. Because I get the fear that if you're too satisfied and almost self-sufficient as a single, I mean, you become difficult to adjust to in marriage. Because I felt that one of the reasons, maybe I'm mistaken, one of the things that makes marriage beautiful is the fact that you are incomplete, yet when you meet your wife, you become complete. There's a part of you that, you know, I don't have all my sufficiency in myself, so my wife compliments me. But this depiction of singleness as, oh, I'm happy, everything is fine, I'm okay, then why do I even need to couple with anybody?
Oh, I think that everyone wants intimacy, number one. So that's an important reason. And partnership and living with your best friend is the way I like to look at it. You know, I think that there's a place that you get to where you meet someone and you go, I like this person so much, I just want to be with them all the time. Kind of like, you know, Enoch walked with God and was not, for God took him. I think the conversation just got so juicy. He said, come on up here, Enoch, you know.
Come over.
So So, you know, I think that the same type, it should be a natural, organic merging as opposed to a desperate decision because I need to get married because of peer pressure and the external pressure is greater than my internal pressure and I just need to do this. And this is when we make really bad decisions. But I think when we're free and we're living our lives in a satisfied state, that we're much more discriminating about the choices of who we choose to walk with.
But Pastor, I'm sure you comment on this, that there's a danger of being too self-sufficient as a single, and then when you get into marriage you start having problems because you are so stuck in your ways. The toothpaste must be this way, this is how I want to sleep, this is how the music must be, this is the light, the
There's
temperature.
no room in my closet for anyone.
I mean, exactly.
Okay, well, see, when you look at it from that angle,
Yeah.
yes, and you're talking about, I mean, you mentioned someone who's stuck in their ways, which we're not really looking at it from that as such. What we're talking about is this. You see, even when we talk about marriage is like an omelette, okay, made with 2 eggs. One great egg and a bad egg makes a bad omelette. Full stop. It takes 2 great eggs to make a good omelette. Now, we need to understand that just as 2 single people, if you have one who knows this is what God has made me to be, and you have another one who somehow thinks that their life is never going to get anywhere unless they depend heavily on someone else, I tell you what, that omelette isn't going to be a great one.
Right.
Fun God's way. And I'm going to be talking about ingredients for a successful courtship.
Okay.
Because I think it's very, very important. Sometimes you have to be able to assess what's going on. I mean, I get upset about with a lot of ladies. I tell sometimes you go in there, eyes are closed.
Yes.
You're gazing into each other's eyes. You're not even assessing the situation, what is happening. There are things happening around you that are informing you.
Yes.
They're speaking to you, but you can't see. So we want to talk about ingredients. I mean, there are things, basic things like, let's just say one. Let me just mention one thing. I mean, like setting boundaries within
Yes.
within a courtship. I mean, I'm going to bring it within the cultural setting here. Setting boundaries of, okay, I mean, we know as Christians, obviously, not sleeping with a partner, that is...
It's a no-go area.
It shouldn't be happening, but that's the main thing. But then there are issues like ladies are washing
men's
clothes,
cooking for them,
Acting
cleaning
like
their
wives
house.
before their wives.
Yes, I'm thinking. I said and so you set these boundaries. Say, I will not cook your food. I will not wash your clothes. If you need to wash your clothes, get a house help.
But then,
Yes.
how would the man know the kind of food you would cook if he doesn't test your cooking skills?
Well, what else is he going to test?
We can start.
Let's not go there. That can lead us down a very, very
Yes.
slippery road.
When you go to ShopRite
Yeah.
and you see the juice containers,
You can't
and the
open
thing,
it and drink
You
it.
have to buy it before
Exactly.
you can drink it.
Good
And if
soda,
you
not
don't like
pineapple.
it, that's too bad for you.
Exactly.
Because you should have read the label
Exactly,
and
and see
found
what's
out
in
what
it.
the ingredients were.
And the lady's sitting there with you, so you better just read. There's a lot of information for you to read, and the man is there. There's a lot of
But do you
information to
agree
read.
that a lot of these premarital programs are more tailored towards meeting women's needs? And I'm saying this as a man because, I mean, I know you get
No.
Let me develop the point.
Okay.
We both jumped on it, didn't we?
The guys are always seen as predators. Guys only want sex. That's what people say. But aren't there gold digging women we should also be equipped to look out for? Because I feel that a lot of single women have support systems with their friends and people. But how many young boys who are 18 or 19 will come and talk to you that? Not all. I know that it's. I feel that single men also have needs, but typically the single girls seem to dominate the programs. They seem to dominate with their
Really?
questions. They go more for these programs. That's
No,
from my
I
experience.
haven't found that. I haven't found that at all.
Pastor Andy, you know what I'm saying is true.
Not really, actually. What it is this.
Don't be afraid.
No.
Say
The
it.
questions that we're dealing with applies to both.
Yes.
You know, I'm speaking of these 25 questions, and in actual fact, every young man around, as far as I'm concerned, ought to be at the program to get
Yes.
to know about these questions. For example, if you're dating someone and you don't study the person as to how they deal with their successes, I know a lot of women who get a little bit of success and that's it. They run roughshod over
The guy.
the guy, and that creates major problems. Now, a man needs to know that these are the things I need to find out. You know, so young men really do need to be at programs like this to equip themselves.
That's the point I'm making.
Because
that
we need it.
The selling point is almost always for women and how to be. And I'm using this is just a general observation.
Yeah.
Maybe I could be
Yeah.
wrong, but I'm saying that a lot of the interventions seem more to do with how a woman should keep it together before she gets into marriage. But I don't see that for men. So maybe you could.
Oh no, I speak to the guys a lot because I feel bad for the guys, and the guys have a lot of issues. It's interesting because that you bring this up because when I was in Lagos last week doing the singles thing, the men were very vocal.
Okay.
They were talking about the gold digging women,
Yeah.
and they were talking about the pressure that women put on them for sex when they're trying to do the right
the
thing.
pressure for marriage.
and and it was an off the charts meeting
Lord.
because they really expressed themselves, and so I had to tell the women now, see, you all are always saying that it's on you to stay pure and holy. Then you go and push the men over the edge and then you turn around and tell them, oh, you're just like all the rest. I mean, come on now. So we had some really good, so we do address the guys.
There's
We do.
always this, and when I talk to people who are courting or even not yet married, there's always this tension where the man says, I'm not just ready for marriage, and the woman is saying, "How long do you are just wasting my time. I've known you for 4 years. How are you not ready?"
Well, 4 years,
For 4 years
you
is a
have
long
wasted
time.
her
I'm,
time.
I'm just using.
It is.
You have wasted her time if it's 4 years.
Again, are we not being, because I mean, if you know somebody from university and you're 22, and then
Okay.
you're probably at 26, you've just started a job,
Okay.
2 years
Well, that's
in work.
fair.
So the point is that the duration may not be the issue. It's about whether there's a plan, whether there is a
Exactly.
timetable. But
This
I
is-
seem to get that a lot, where a lot of times the struggle is that, look, the girl wants to get married and the guy is not ready, and the
But
girl
that
thinks
is-
that
but it's
the
two
guy is just
communi-
taking her for a ride.
But isn't
But
this
it's-
one? Isn't this some of the things you talk about in courtship, planning? I mean, one of the things I'm going to talk about actually on Saturday is planning, because a lot of times we're not talking about the future,
Right.
and you have to talk about these things because then you can tell them that you don't waste each other's time.
Right.
You can say, okay, well, actually, I don't plan to get married till 6 years after I leave university, and the girl knows, well,
that's not
maybe
what
I
I-
need.
exactly.
Yes, you need to talk about it. If you don't talk about it, people. What about people that they're in courtship and then the guy plans to go out of the country for 5 years and he hasn't told you?
So actually, all the things we're doing here, we've been seen by Ato, Cynthia from Nigeria, DJ Pa. We also have Martha Kumi and a few others, Taiwo as well. So let me just go to Ato first. Ato is grinning from ear to ear. Ato is not married. Hello, Ato. Hello.
Hello, Bernard.
Ato, why are you grinning from ear to ear? What is the problem?
Okay. Sorry, I didn't hear your question.
I said you are grinning from ear to ear. You seem excited about what we're talking about today.
Okay, I think there's a really good sound bites from this thing today. I really like the dating is about collecting data bit. I thought that was really interesting. So yeah, I've learned a lot from this.
I see. Do you have any question for my guest, or do you intend to be part of this program in the coming days?
But we also need to say how much.
Oh no, I don't have any particular questions. I've just been.
Okay, so let's go to Martha Kumi, who's also joining us, hanging out with us from somewhere in Accra, I believe. Hello, Martha.
Pre-gas bandwidth, post-gas bandwidth now. Really keep that.
Okay, let me go to Taiwo. I think Martha can hear me. So, hello, Taiwo. Can you hear me?
It's 3 figures.
Yes, I can hear you, Citi.
You are a married man already, so why are you still smiling, listening to us talking
I
single
don't know,
stuff?
I mean, I find these things very amusing. To see single men grinning from ear to ear like Ato and Fifi and Cynthia. I mean, Google Plus makes this happen and Citi FM. It's so exciting to see them very happy. And I mean, I loved the song that you played. And I'm not sure if there's a place to get it in Nigeria.
Well,
Get some there to Remy's shops.
let me ask you a question before we go on. You are married now. Did you do any of these single programs before you got married? How did you what was the process that led to you meeting your wife?
Oh my God, I can't tell you the process. The process is very long. But I can tell you I bought CDs and tapes and videos of singles and married things. And at the end of the day, I had to give them to some of my friends that were looking for women.
Oh, okay.
Because those things work.
Oh, wow. So yours was just preparing to get married, but interesting. So Taiwo thinks we're just
Educated himself. That's
Yeah,
commendable.
Interesting point from Taiwo as well. Now, if you have a question to ask us and you're listening, I'll give you the chance to call us. For those of you listening in Ghana or elsewhere, 028-922-6990. Now let's go to Jacobs. Is it? I don't know the first name.
It's
Ison. Hi, Ison. Where are you viewing us from?
Chicago,
Oh wow.
United States.
Oh wow, Ison.
Ow! I lived in Chicago for many years.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Have you?
Ison. So what's up? How are you enjoying the show this morning?
I love it. It's really informative.
Oh wow. Do you mind if I ask? Are you married or single?
I'm single.
Oh, I see. Are you happy being single, or you're looking to get married soon?
Well, I can say I'm happy single, but I guess I'm keeping an eye out for the marriage thing. But I'm
Okay.
gonna enjoy the single as long as I can.
Yeah. Thank you, Ison. Ison is relaxed in some lounge. He seems to be enjoying himself. I think he said something very important. I'm enjoying this as long as I can.
Yeah.
And he said the marriage thing, you know, the marriage thing.
That was very